Hello, this is Plume Silver, and I'm going to do a Grand Tableau for Leo, the Pope, the new Pope. Okay, so that happened last week. I laid this a few days ago, and I found this Grand Tableau quite spectacular. Just because in the center, the four card center, are very important to always look at. You see, the man is in the house of bird, the person who's going to be talking, communicating. And in the house of child, we got the child. That's very powerful. It's all going to be about the kids. The kids are behind him. There's something that he's looking this way at a war, a battle. In the house of whip, you got the whip. My God, that's not a small battle. And who he's going to be cutting? The snake. Just below here, the snake. Because you see, we got the scythe in the house of snake. And that scythe? The institution, the heads of the institution that have been, corrupt or something, or basically really showing things that have been deceptive. All right, because in the snake in the house of gentlemen, this is where he's going to show. He's going to shine some light. You see here, just look at the horizontal oblique line that is going straight this way. Sometimes you have to kind of look at things like this because the writer is a person who delivers information. The writer is in the house of coffin. The writer is like a Knight Templar. There's this sort of a hidden, because they're in the house of coffin, a hidden agenda of like some army, like people that are bringing something forward. All right, and news, information, they're all very interconnected because with the tree, and they're very powerful. In the house of tree, we've got the bear, and there in the house of bear, we got a new path. So they're going to take us in another direction, and it's a clear direction. It's definitely to expand. In the house of star, we got the star, and in the house of whip, we've got the whip in his line here, and look where he's looking to create a really big change in the house of bouquet with the stork, the things, and the change is going to be also obviously because you see we got the coffin, and in the house of coffin we've got the rider. So through delivering the good words, the words of the Bible, ancient text, things that are much more spiritual, because you see in the house here, we've got the ring, which is like a halo just above him. And he's going to bring only a little bit of things from the darkness, because you see in the house of ring, the ring is there. You see that little sun just peeking through. This is like suddenly, slowly, he might just be the spark of this, there's definitely going to be a big battle. This is not a small battle. This is something big. It's very odd that he was picked after only 1 year being, a cardinal, and then happening to be in America too. So, it kind of tells me there's some connection here going on, because you see, at the bottom, we've got the lilies. I know that I use that card, the wise one, so people call it the white hat, but I call them wise because, and older. And then we've got them all being connected here. The key here. And the key here is in the house of garden. The garden card in this deck here, it's called Park. It's in the house of fox. They're going to use a very cunning way of manipulating, not in a mean way. Look, they've been infiltrated in the situation through the tree, through every institutions of over the years. It's very ancient. And because it got the heart just above it, and they were hidden in the clouds, you see? You see the cloud is in the ring, and that ring of people, like you could even almost call them the Knight Templar, just above here with the heart. And they have that frequency in the house of heart. We've got the bird here. You see, the bird is in here. That's the communication, and he's got the talent, because you see we got the talent here. He's going to be recognized to be able to use his frequencies, the words he used, old text to talk about, to move things. You see, and having this 4 cards in the corner, we're shown here that there's a gift, that he's bringing something from the darkness, and very connected, and it's going to grow this way. It's going to create a change. Look, we got the stork, with the stork's just above there. We got this in the house of stork, the coffin. So that change that that change of guards, that's what this cantableau is telling me about it. Also, it tells me there's a family oriented situation here. He's got the children here, the abusive children is behind him, and he's about to hit this battle and the institution and cut the snake, the head of the snakes here, the snake in the house. A snake, you got the size, look at that, that looks like a person who's about to go into battle. And yeah, he is going into battle because he's in the house of snake, and the snake is in his house, and he's going into battle using words and frequency, with just the power of the words that are going to be much more whole because of the ring above there. And in the house of Scythe, you got the institution, the tower, and there's going to be big light shine through it, and it's going to move things with very powerful words. In the house of Sun, we've got the ship. So you see how connected. I mean, we could do all kinds of different connection. There's another line I really like, is that line at the 45 degree here. I saw this, and I found it very interesting. All the cards that are connected just through this, and you go to the star, because the star has that in the house of star, it's got the star. You see, there's a few cards that are in their own house: child, star, and whip. That clearly tells me this is going to be about the children. The people that are infiltrated are going to find a way to create a path to manipulate all this situation. They're going to take this opportunity. Here, the Lily, the wise ones here in the House of Key, the 33, that group, maybe the Night Templar, are going to be, setting some goals to make things really, to flush the snake head there. To see the head, the snake is right there. And look at that. That's what they're going to be flushing it. They're going to use very powerful words, and that is a friendly, you see the anchor, this is a friendly gold. It's something we need to trust. We're going to be liking more the institution. You see, because it's in the house of dog, the cross, and the new house. People are gonna like it more. They're gonna see it's more family oriented. That line I was just trying to say here is like, you see, you got the tree, so they're very connected in that institution, or that group that is together, and they're gonna shine some lights, shine information. This is gonna be very powerful, having the sun in the tower. And it's about this gentleman who's being able to show the deception, that because of this institution, because the South is there, Scythe is there. And that's the goal. And look, the opportunity as we go up to get to that direction, to go to, it's going to get deep. And then there's going to be something, now we're going to recognize what we can trust more. And it's going to go this way. So this Grand Tableau is kind of a different way for me to read it, but just seeing these 4 cards in the middle, I was like, oh my God, the key in the House of Garden. Well, that's Peter's keys, the first Pope, and he's there. It's like, I couldn't ask for a better layout for it, it's like, even if I wanted to place it, I wouldn't even know how to do that. Like this Grand Tableau is just fabulous. Oh, in the House of Mice, usually that's where things break down. So you always have to look at that, where the mice is. And the mice is in the house of Lady. And the Lady is in the mountain. So there's obstacles that are things that have been creating problems from that feminine side. I'm not sure exactly how to read this one, except that I know that the moon being in the house of mice, we're going to recognize something. We're going to maybe recognize things, more details about just this whole 4 groups of 4 cards here, that I really find that they need to be together. He's got a lot of good positive cards all around him. But he's entering a big battle, and it's not small, because being in the House of Whip, having the star in the House of Star, and that child, and we know this is going to be about the children and the family. And there's going to be some obstacles that are going to be caused by maybe, I could almost say, when I see the woman, usually I find that it's the left side, the one that is a little bit deranged right now in the States, maybe everywhere really. But you see, they have the mice here, so we're going to need to, I have a feeling it's going to break down that sort of derangement that is happening there, that is like from the woman house, I will say it's the left side, okay? It's not, there's no woman in particular. Maybe also it might be that, he's trying to unify the family, so he's going to need to sort of clarify things about the role of a woman in a family. So that's why I say it's a family kind of like more unification that he's trying to do here through the church, obviously, because there's a lot of people that are going to keeping it going until there's going to be other times, but the process is here, and we are seeing a pope that is going to shine some information from the darkness. He's going to bring a bit out by using, see the letter and the letter here in the house of the letter, we have the mountain. So it's definitely about the old text, how it's going to describe the values of a family, also the values of the woman in the world too. So that's what am I feeling, the detail that is going to break it down. We're going to need to recognize more detail of what he's bringing forward, you know. But having that halo above him like this, in the house of tree, we got the bear. This is very powerful new path that is taken, a direction that is going to expand and very powerful. I'm going to just pause this and show you the tarot cards that goes with this, because they're very good and very revealing. All right. Okay, and then this is the tarot cards that I picked. I have this deck of tarot cards that is called, like, it's like the Lenormand cards, and they will have the same symbols of the Lenormand. So I picked, you know, when you saw my Grand Tableau, you saw the whip, you know, and I told you that card was in its own house, and that's a very powerful placement. And when I do this layout, the Kachina knife, I always look at the bottom card and the top card after I lay this, and then I pick a center one, and I kind of just put it there. I thought that was very interesting to have the whip here. You see? That's a symbol, 10 of Wands. It's basically something is ending. It's actually overwhelming. He has a lot on, a big burden. It's going to be quite hard of a battle. So there's a battle, and he's a person who's definitely much more introverted, you know, because of the hermit card here. And he's more ancient too, very wise, and he's bringing this wisdom. This is like he's been placed into this battle. Interestingly, this tarot reading here, we've got the Strength, the Leo, you know, look at that, you know, and then also here we get the Temperance, 14, the number 14. You know, couldn't ask for better. That's the subject. And right here in the middle, here's a key opening. That's the key of the St. Peter. You know what? I'm amazed by cards. Sorry, but I have to say it, how beautiful this is. Now, a lot of patience here, Knight of Pentacles. Like he kind of stands there. He's firm. He's solid. You could trust him. He's a knight, you know. And there you go. That in the past, he's a knight. And now they're opening up a door. But wow, it's going into the 8 of Chalice. And look, I've got 1, 2, 3 times 8. 8 of Swords. They've been, you know, he's been tied into a situation, and he's going to have to march. You see, look, that's the marching card. He's marching. He says, we're going to go forward, moving into another era. And he's going to do it. But that's going to take a lot out of introverting, research and work into looking at things in detail, you know, how he feels about the church and everything. So he's definitely bringing forward this battle through a deep emotional, very spiritual temperance, like almost like a healing. And there's going to be a lot of patience that's going to be required from him, but he's a knight and he's bringing that forward. It's a battle, 888. It's like, it's very powerful. On top of it, you've got the Strength, that it's another card that is usually the number 8. Well, actually, it's 11 on that one. I thought it was 8. I could be wrong. I get them confused sometimes. Some decks, they have a different number for the Strength. But anyway, so the Leo card here and the Temperance 14, that's pretty amazing. See, this again confirms the person who I'm connected with the cards. And so he's definitely real. All right. And now I would say that he's definitely going into a big battle just there. But it's going to end things. It's going to it's bringing something at like at a point, like, you know, and it's a battle. Okay, because we got the whip, and that's these three cards. We got the children, the direction with the star, and the whip. Hopefully you like this, and this is for the Pope Leo, the new Pope, and he's definitely gonna be having a lot of work to do. Thank you.